What up, good people, and welcome to another episode of Keep It Thorough, where we give you the real behind business health, money, and self development, and introduce engaging concepts to help you elevate your performance in all areas of life. I'm your host, Cedric Lavelle, joined by my counterpart, Mr. E Double.
Yes, sir. It's your boy E Double, and we back at y'all for another week, season 3, episode 118. And the title of this episode is Getting Past Your Indecision: Tips for Winning the Mental Battle of Choices. I think this is something that everybody deals with.
Absolutely.
Some maybe a little more than others, but this is something that everybody deals with. So really good episode on deck for y'all. As always, be sure to check out the kit that corresponds to this episode on keepitthorough.com/kits. And be sure to podcast with us wherever you podcast, and tell a friend to tell a friend. So with all that said, let's go and kick it off, Sid.
Let's get to it, man. So indecision, right? Indecision is not just a thief of time. It is a thief of opportunity. And there are so many moments in people's lives that have been missed or gone unpursued because hesitation was holding them hostage. Whether they feared making the wrong decision because of a lack of information, whether it was some bad luck that they might have had in the past, or just having a lack of confidence, their hesitation created a web of overthinking things, and as a result, a potential outcome has gone unknown. You don't know what can happen. You don't know what the outcome or the results would have potentially been if you would have made a decision. And through that process, what I've recognized and what I've seen with a lot of people, and sometimes, when you're struggling with making a decision, you experience it yourself, but your ability to exert the energy to even try kind of gets depleted. It's like, man, I'm trying to think what direction I should go, what I should do, but nothing is adding up. Nothing is making sense. But it's really unfortunate, how many people deal with these types of challenges when it's something that we do on a day-to-day basis. Like every day we're making decisions about something. Which direction are we going to go to work today? What are we going to eat? What are the outfits that we're going to put on, and all these different things. And a lot of times, instead of us building confidence with our decision making skills, people really get burdened by the experience of decision making. It becomes a challenge for them, and they struggle at it, right? But here's the real when it comes to making decisions. Making a decision, or even just being able to make decisions, you're not born with the ability to do it, right? It's a skill that's really just crafted over time through persistence, through a process, and really just practicing, like putting yourself in situations where you have to make decisions, and by seeing it really as a skill to be honed rather than an innate ability we either have or don't have, can have a really profound effect on our comfort and choices, and just the confidence to even choose. You know what I'm saying? And just reframing our mind, and believing that we have the ability to hone that craft and better it, I think is the first step towards getting past indecision.
No, absolutely, man. In one of our recent episodes, I don't remember which one it was, but I think it was pretty recent. I had made the comment that, life is essentially about like solving problems, right?
Yeah. You did.
And I honestly feel like this episode, right, like getting past indecision, is all about solving
Solving
problems.
problems.
You know what I mean, right? And when I made that comment, I kind of linked, or made the connection between people who can, solve problems quicker, and those who can solve more complex problems quicker are typically more successful, right? So I think it's important, for the sake of this episode, to understand the connection between decisions and success, right? So
Yeah.
like how quickly you can make decisions, and then like the effects that they have on them on their lives, right? So I honestly feel like this is like the perfect episode for that, like that comment. But
And comment,
the
yeah.
decisions we make, right, it shapes our lives. The choices we make daily contribute to our personal and professional trajectories. Every decision, whether big or small, sets off a chain reaction of events that forms the foundation of our experiences. So, by improving our decision making skills, not only can we take control of these outcomes more consciously, right, but leading to an enhanced or leading to enhanced life satisfaction and achievement. So, the act of making decisions involves evaluating options and committing to a path even in the face of uncertainty. So like sometimes you got to make decisions about things that you might not have the most
All the
amount of
information.
information because a decision needs to be made and time is not on your side. So
Right.
for those people who struggle with indecision, learning to act without absolute certainty can be transformative. And this is something that I deal with myself, right? And I've begin to come to terms with you don't have to know everything to like move forward. And
Mm-hmm.
what do I mean by that? Because I think an example would maybe illustrate that better. But like I'm an overthinker sometimes, right? Like I like to cross all my T's, dot all my I's, make sure all my ducks are in a row before I kind of pull a trigger. So say for instance, I'm buying something like a lawnmower. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm the type, I'm gonna pull up the spec sheets. I'm looking at all the specifications, the motor, run time,
I've seen it. Yep.
how high the, what I mean, the different lengths that the lawnmower can cut. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do all these different things, and then like I'm gonna still sit on it a little while sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, damn, like do I really need the nicer one, or could I get by with the other one? Like, is those nice to have features, or do it? You know what I mean? But stuff like that, like, and that's where I kind of struggle. But I'm starting to get to a better place. So, okay, let me just check off the boxes that I need to get checked off and move on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me just
Right.
focus on forget all the nice to haves and the extra information that I didn't obtain over doing this research. Let me go back to what I was originally trying to accomplish, check off them boxes, and then move forward. And
Yep.
again, I'm not perfect because I still, do that when buying certain things. You know what I'm saying? But which there's nothing wrong with being thorough, but in certain situations, you don't have that luxury of time, which is really the key point here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not only about making the right choice, but it's also about gaining confidence in one's ability to handle the consequences of that choice, right? So it's like, okay, you're not gonna make the right choice every time, especially under pressure and intense, timelines and all those types of things. But the confidence to be like, okay, even if I get it wrong, I can fix it. Even if I get it wrong, I can make another decision later that'll be better.
Be
That'll,
better. Yeah.
put me in a better situation. So it's not always about making the right choice, but also about building that confidence. Um, that'll help you move faster, and then it'll also ultimately lead to better decision making. And this skill is invaluable in fast-paced, often unpredictable environments like many professionals deal with today, like in the workplace or regardless, entrepreneurs, whatever you're doing. We all deal with very fast-paced environments. Just with how technology is these days, right? But by framing decision making as an ongoing learning process, which said kind of alluded to a little earlier, individuals can adapt more dynamically to life's challenges and opportunities. So by, again, going back to what said mentioned, it's not about a skill that you either have or you don't have. It's like a muscle and you just need to strengthen it.
Strengthen. Yeah.
The more you work it out, the more you do it, the better, the stronger it's going to get, and the better it's going to respond, and the better your decision making will be, the more confident you will be, and the quicker you can get to your desired results.
Absolutely. And it's just about, like you said, just it's almost like putting in the reps, and really allowing yourself to have those experiences where, like you said, man, like whether you make a good choice or a bad choice, whatever the outcome is, you're willing to deal with that, right? And the decisions that we make now will ultimately just set us up for the opportunities that we're going to experience later. And so in order to have an experience and even get to that point, it requires some sort of action. And those decisions are not just fleeting choices, but they are essentially just the foundation for what our future can be. But again, even to get to that potential outcome, understanding what's holding you back and what's limiting you from even making a decision is a requisite. I was about to mess that word up. Is a requisite, right? You have to at least know, or I want to have an understanding of why can't you make a decision? What's limiting you? What do you keep doing that's allowing you or enabling you to pursue something, right? So asking your questions: are you juggling too many options? Do you have too many options in too little time? You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately that just gives you cognitive overload because you're consistently thinking, right? And your decision muscle, like E was saying, you got to exercise the muscle. Your decision muscle is going to tire out. Like with any muscle that you have, if you keep overworking it, it's going to tire out. You're going to get overwhelmed, and you don't have the time to really think about everything thoroughly, and so you just give up. You know what I'm saying? But if you get to a point where you can just keep things simple, keeping it simple. What is this? What is it? What is the acronym? KISS. Keep it
Kiss.
simple,
Yeah.
stupid. Is it stupid? I think it's
Yeah.
stupid,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
keep
Keep it
it keep
simple,
it
stupid.
simple. You know what I'm saying? Keep it simple, and that just cuts down on certain choices, and then you can find making decisions a lot more effective opposed to it being overwhelming. You know what I mean? Something else. Are you worried about regret? Regret. God, dog, these all words is
Regret.
killing me, boy.
Regret.
Requisite, regrets. Goodness gracious, regrets. You know what I'm saying?
That boy
Are
sound
you?
like Daffy Duck when he said that.
are
Regret.
you? Are
Regret.
you? Over here struggling, man. But are you worried about regrets? You know what I'm saying? And it's normal to think about making the wrong call or regretting it later. Oh, if I do this, this is going to happen. Oh, if I do this, you know what I'm saying? It's normal to have that. We've all been there. But here's the thing: regret and uncertainty is a part of the process. You know what I'm saying? That's something that just happens within the process, and it's a process because ultimately what happens is you should learn from what did or didn't go so well. And by learning from it, you'll find yourself being more confident in the next situation that you're in where you're forced to make a choice. You know what I'm saying? And then the last question that you can just ask yourself: are you suffering from analysis paralysis? And everybody has experienced that before. You know what I mean? A lot of times people get stuck because they endlessly analyze all the options. You know what I'm saying? They spend more time just moving their focus from one choice to the next. And then before you know it, it's like you still ain't made a decision, right? Your mind is running, but your feet are standing still. Like you're still not doing nothing. You just continuing to think, but you have to get to a point, you know what I'm saying, in these particular instances where you just have to set a clear, straightforward criteria for what counts as a good enough decision. If you make this decision, is it good enough? Is it good enough to get you by? And this, you know what I'm saying, helps you with being able to move forward and not being bogged down in the details of things. You know what I'm saying? Because just like E was saying, like and I've seen him do it. Like he'll go through every spec, everything, just to see, if this is really what you're wanting. You know what I'm saying? Are the features, do they align with this? Do they align with that? And sometimes that's necessary. But getting to a place where good enough is good enough, that's what's going to help you make those decisions a lot quicker. And then again, just asking yourself these questions is going to be beneficial for you in the long run. I should say in the end run, in the long run. You know what I mean?
Hey, both work in the end
End
run,
run,
in the
long
long run.
run,
Hey.
either
But hey,
or.
man. So, I think a good way to phrase this: hesitation is a familiar foe, right?
We all deal with it, boy.
When we talking about
Over here, pump faking.
indecisiveness, right? Hesitation is a familiar foe, and hesitation is definitely a foe because it can hold you back.
Yeah.
But we all about giving examples over here at Keep It Thorough, right? So that's what we're gonna do here to kind of make it tangible. So imagine something as simple as you standing in the cereal aisle of your favorite grocery store, unable to choose between different brands, right? So you don't know if you want the Frosted Flakes, You don't know if you want the Fruity
Fruity
Pebbles.
Pebbles,
You know, you don't know if you want the
Cinnamon Toast
Cocoa
Crunch.
Pebbles or the Cinnamon Toast
Do I
Crunch.
want to go organic
You know, you
or
don't know
do
if
I
you
want to
want
go?
tricks or, you know, I'm not going organic. So said can have it organic. That's less choice for me. That's
Do I want to go whole grain or do I
right.
want to go with, you know what I'm saying? The
Yeah, but you know, but
Cheerios.
again, you standing in the aisle, you know, you can't decide what cereal you want, right? Now,
Yeah.
you know, so leave it there, right? So this hesitation, it might seem very minor, but it can eat into your day, causing frustration and a ripple of delay in your schedule. Now, that example was talking about just the cereal, but imagine that times 10 with numerous other small decisions that you got to make throughout the day that you spend extra amounts of time on that you shouldn't, right?
Yeah.
Now, again, that, you know, might seem minor if you just look at the one thing, but, you know, small things grow, you know what I mean? It's like you know, the accumulation of them, you know what I mean? The accumulation of a whole bunch of 5, 10, 15 minutes together over the course of a week, you know, or over the course of a day, you know, can definitely cause a delay in your schedule.
Right.
So similarly, indecision is more significant, or I just said that all wrong. Similarly, indecision is more significant in certain aspects of your life, right? So, like career moves or financial investments can have far reaching effects. So, you know, we talked about something simple as choosing cereal or, you know, I don't know, the
What
milk
clothes you
or
gonna wear
snack you
today?
want or clothes you want to
Yeah,
wear for the day,
yeah.
right? But now, you know, it can be much more significant in other aspects of your life when we're talking about career moves or financial investments. So, for instance, say you're dragging your feet on leaving your current company because you're comfortable, even though you qualified, you know, you can go make twice as much money, you know, so on and so forth. But instead, you're comfortable, you just sit at your same job. So now you miss out on, you know, furthering your career or advancing
Yeah.
your career faster because of, you know, lack of making a decision. Or financial investments. Say, you know, you had wanted to invest in Nvidia 5 years ago, right before the AI boom. You knew, you know, there was some upside. You liked the company, but you never did it, right? Well, now, boom, they go on this tear. They breaking all these records. You know, the third. I think they number third. The number third.
Number
They're the
third.
number three most valuable company in the world right now, or they were the last time I checked. But you just missed out on the run where you could have made yourself a whole lot of money. So, and those are certain decisions that can lead to much more significant impacts, right? When you're delaying, as opposed to just taking forever to, you know, pick your cereal. But those types of delays and that type of hesitation can stall your progress. It'll increase your stress. It'll lead to missed opportunities, as I just mentioned, with the jobs. And then, you know, it really just shows you how impactful moments of indecision can be on your life. It can really just like weigh you down. And even if it's not weighing you down, you can just miss opportunities that you don't realize that you missed out on just because you
Mm-hmm.
didn't make a decision, right? So very, very important. These scenarios are common challenges that, you know, most people experience. Like we
Right.
all
Absolutely.
drag our feet. I guarantee every person walking this earth got something that they want to do that they've been dragging their feet on for the last year or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody deals with it, but some people deal with it more than others because there's some people who are dragging their feet on an idea because they were focused on these other three that they actually got done. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right. Yeah.
where there's other people who they got these 5 things and they ain't made no
They
progress
ain't
in none of
done
them in the
one.
last 5. You know what I mean? So we all deal with it, but you know, people deal with it in different ways. But from, you know, small daily choices to major life decisions, your ability to decide effectively is crucial. Very, very, very crucial. And by improving your decision making skills or your decision making muscle, right?
Mm-hmm.
The analogy we were using, you can influence better personal and professional outcomes, enhance your mental well being, and reduce the anxiety associated with choices, right? Again, the more you do anything, the easier it becomes, and the better you
Better
become
you get
at it.
at it. Yep.
You know, so essentially being more decisive empowers you to take control of your life, leading to increased success and satisfaction across various life domains. So Just make a decision. And there's another saying, right, that I said, we full of quotables over here, but fail fast, man. Fail fast, act quick, and don't let hesitation be a foe, man. Let your quick decision making be a pro.
Don't let it be a foe. Let quick decision making be a pro.
Hey.
Hey. Boy, trying to spit them bars, rhyming. Nah. Nah, man, but truthfully, we all know this though too, but our actions are what define our outcomes. However you act is what's going to determine the outcome. And life is just a series of connected actions where one moment influences another moment. And again, like I was saying earlier, the only way that you can get to these moments or create these moments, whether they're good or bad, are through actions, right? Because every outcome requires some sort of input. And instead of just being fearful, uh, focus on having a process or a strategy that's going to allow you to be confident in your decisions. You know what I'm saying? Whether good or bad, like he said earlier, like you have to be willing to deal with the consequences of whatever choice that you make. And if you're doing things thoroughly, you may be able to rebound from that choice or from that decision that you make. But it's all about having a process. It's all about, as he said earlier, crossing your T's and dotting your I's. You know what I'm saying? Having a system of how you figure out things. That way, if in the event you have to kind of go back on something, you know the steps that you took, and you can kind of say, okay, this is probably where I messed up at. Let me do this time and learn from that experience. You know what I'm saying? So do things like that. Or in addition to that, start setting clear goals, right? Like start with a clear understanding of your objectives to guide your decisions. Like what is it that you wanted to accomplish and complete? And then put certain things together, put objectives together that's going to help you in guiding your decisions. Something else that you can do, like I said earlier, limit your options, right? If you're aware that too many options will overwhelm you, limit your options, right? Reduce the choice overload by just narrowing down your options to a manageable few. If you usually try to balance out 5 or 6 things, try doing 3 or 4 things. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of be self-aware of what's hindering you and try to do the opposite of what you're doing, right? Another thing that you can do is just set deadlines. Commit to making a decision within a specific time frame to avoid procrastination. Now, this is going to take a lot of discipline, but if you're disciplined enough to do it, you can say, okay, I have to make a decision within this time frame, whether it's within the hours, within a minute, within the week. Like I have to make a decision on this, or I'm not going to commit to it. So let me say I'm going to do this at this particular time. You know what I'm saying? And that can be helpful for you. Something else you can do, reflect on your past decisions, right? Like regularly review decisions that you've made, that you've learned from, and then just improve on the future decision making, right? So learn from something that you did um, maybe a month ago, a week ago, however long ago. Analyze that, assess that, see the pros and cons of whatever that situation was, and then if you're faced with another decision or another situation where it's similar to that, now you have something that you can refer back to. Now you have something that you can lean on and say, okay, I remember this situation that I had to experience a year ago. Let me not do it this way. Or if you've even seen somebody go through something similar, that's another way that you can help with your decision making, right? So just being able to observe certain people and certain things and certain situations that have transpired. And as a result of that, you become more effective with your decision making. So have a process, you know what I'm saying? Practice that process, improve that process, and through that, as you move forward, you can become more confident in your decision making and get past indecision and all the little tricks and whatnot that you be playing inside your head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 1,000%, man. Get over them little tricks, man. Quit tricking yourself out your spot.
Absolutely.
But so in summary, man, embrace decisiveness. You know what I mean? Embrace decisiveness. So, overcoming indecision plays a crucial role in enhancing personal and professional growth. And this is probably my third time saying that, and probably said it maybe 2 or 3 times itself. But it's very crucial
It's a big part
to
of life,
your
man.
to your personal and professional growth. You have to make decisions, right? Like, so to go back to the point I made earlier about life is about solving problems, right? Every day you wake up and you got a list of things that you need to get done. And in order to solve those problems, you have to make not one or two, but several decisions.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
quicker you can make sound decisions, the quicker you can move on to the next problem, and then the more progress you can make, which can lead to success. So by understanding the psychological aspects of decision making, connecting it to life success, and employing practical strategies, you can transform your approach to choices and frequently experience the rewarding feeling of progress, right? So um we talked about the psychological effects, right, and how it can stress you out, and all those different things, and then the lack of progress can weigh on you as well, right? When you've been in the same spot for a while and you feel like you're deserving of more and you don't have it, that can like weigh on you. But then you also have to take a look in the mirror and be like, okay, well, what have I done to put myself in a better position? But yeah, so understanding the psychological aspects of decision making or lack thereof, and connecting it to your life success, I think is a very good way to look at it and to really understand the importance of it. But remember, the goal isn't always to make the perfect decision, but to become more confident and effective in the decision making process. That's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Nobody is going to always make the right decision. It's just not going to happen. Nobody's perfect. Like, words like perfect exist so that it can describe to you what you're not,
Mm,
right? That's why words
man.
like that exist, you know. But nobody's perfect, right? So embrace the power of making choices with conviction, and watch as new doors of opportunity swing wide open, leading to paths of incredible potential. So make your decisions, man. Just be decisive. Embrace decisiveness. Anything
Embrace
you
it,
want to
man.
add, said?
Nah, man. I agree with everything you just said, bro. Embrace that decisiveness and make your decisions. You know what I'm
Yeah, hey.
saying? Every day is about decisions, decision making, good or bad. You know what I'm saying?
Some are
Make a
tougher than
decision.
others too. You know what I mean? Some decisions are
Absolutely.
tougher than others, but you just got to be confident in yourself. And the quicker you do it, the more you do it again, the better you'll become at it.
Put those reps in, man. And like he was saying, decision making process. I think that's one of the biggest words in that. It's a process. You know what I mean? It's continual, and you're always going to have to uh, go through it and experience it. But it's a process. You know what I'm saying? With any process, it can get better, or it can get worse. It just all depends on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So, with all that said, man, we greatly appreciate y'all, everybody who tunes in week to week, whether you listen or you watch or you read. Either way, we appreciate the support. Hey, man, the homies been rocking the hats heavy, man, and them boys trying to put in some more orders, man. So, hey, we do
I'm
got the
glad
hats
about
on the
that.
website, keepitthorough.com. These are some dope hats, man. I got a lot of people to tell me they're the best fitting hats that they've ever wore. So
I had to introduce some new colors soon.
yeah, no, we will, and a few other new products as well. But y'all know how it go, man. If you don't do nothing else, keep it thorough,
Yeah, yeah.
and we'll holler at y'all next week. Deuces.
Deuces.